I'm Bella Thorne, and we are up here in the mountains in Los Angeles, California.
All right, so tell me your secret. How do you approach acting?
You have to be completely vulnerable. And with your casting directors, your directors, your writers, you have to let them in. You also have a better chance, I think, of literally getting the job when they understand you more. Like, you know, when they can see you, when you're not putting on a face or a show or being anybody else, but you're trying to really channel your inner true self, the one that's broken in a lot of pieces and wanting to be accepted, the one that's completely vulnerable and willing to be hurt. And that's, you know, just so important, I think, for every role, that you have this vulnerability to you and to the character, so that the audience can see the character, understand the character, and even when the character makes mistakes, they still like the character because the character is their inner self. It started as this thing for acting, and it's just kind of spiraled its way in a really beautiful way throughout the rest of my life. When I'm able to be so vulnerable with my fans, literally, it creates this dynamic that is so powerful between two people because I'm extending them this hand to be open with me. They can understand me more when they see similarities in us, to let them know that they're not alone. And in order to do that, you have to put yourself out there and you have to get pretty uncomfortable just to even achieve a little bit of that. It takes a lot of work, but I think it genuinely makes me stronger as a person. People constantly say, literally, I just feel really bad because I just feel like you're a completely different person than I thought. People have apologized to me and been like, I'm so sorry. I don't know who I thought I was meeting today, but you are not the girl that I was thinking. I kind of feel bad. And I'm like, bitch, what the fuck were you thinking before you met me? What are you saying? And then it does genuinely make me stronger because I feel better also being so honest with anyone that crosses my path.
How do you know what's right for you?
You're never gonna understand how much something doesn't work for you unless you try it. I think you have to go through these periods of, fighting yourself to really grow, to really understand what about you want to keep moving forward. And you cannot like who you are. That's okay. You can say, I don't like this about myself. It doesn't have to be such a negative, I'm the worst, I'm gonna beat myself down, I'm gonna fucking no, it can just be I've noticed I have this quality and I don't want to have that quality anymore. I want to try and change that. And you can make those small steps forward that end up being big steps. I really believe people can change, 100%. I believe that in my soul. Find what you like about yourself, fucking cherish those things, ride those home, and find what you don't like, and try and make a conscious step forward to change those things.
So many people tend to be, kind of trash talking out there. So what is your specific approach? How do you overcome the hate out there?
Having a platform, you're immediately a role model and you've signed up to be one. You've signed up to not make any mistakes. You've signed up to be the best person by millions of people's public views and opinions, the best person, which means keep in mind when the saying comes not everyone's gonna agree with you, literally, no, there's gonna be so many millions of people that don't, agree with you, and there's gonna be so many people that do, but in general, holy fuck, what do you do there? how do you make, headway there? Like, it's even just when I misspell a fucking word, and I'm dyslexic. I don't know how many times I gotta fucking say this to hoes, but let me tell you, hoes be up on my shit like, bitch can't read, bitch can't do this. Bro, like, oh God, offensive, my goodness. Like, you're like, does it hurt her? Yes, the answer is yes, it does hurt, it does offend me. If I really wanted to let the haters win, I would just be like, peace, fuck you. I'm not gonna deal with any of you, bye. That's it, I'm offline, you'll never hear from me. Why would I wanna, why should I be punishing myself for, I'm just making them happy there, if I'm closed off to other people's thoughts and opinions, then I'm never learning something new. I'm just staying in my own mental bubble and not connecting with any new information. And if I'm not learning, I'm not growing, then what the fuck am I doing? There are amazing people in the world. Why am I punishing, them for someone else? Why am I punishing myself if I want to post a photo in this thing and I'm like, I can't post it because people are gonna bully me off the internet? That's fucked up. No, you should not feel that way. So, I try to literally just change my perspective and not feel that way. If I'm getting heat on the internet, I'm not gonna sit there and be reading every single comment oh my God. No, I can't do that because I would kill myself. You can't punish all the rest of the people that need someone to connect to, knowing you've been through it too. Just knowing that type of community that even creates, that one thing you might say might actually fucking change their life or their perspective.
We're always talking about community. What does community mean to you?
Community to me means family. A group of people that are drawn together by this thing. It doesn't have to actually be blood relation, obviously. I definitely feel closer to my audience on OnlyFans than I feel closer to my audience on Instagram. And it's because of the community that is, the way they are. I don't know, they're not dicks, they're not picking on every single thing, they're not oh God, why does her fucking nose look like that when she goes to the side? Or, whatever fucking trolling comments that there is. The community is so different on OnlyFans.
Do you like being part of a community?
I am such a recluse. Even before COVID, I didn't leave the house that much. All my meetings come here. Build a studio in the house, a writer's room. I do editing here. Pretty much if I can do it here, I'm gonna do it here. And I don't know if that's a purposeful decision that I'm making, or if I'm just slowly making that decision again and again and again over time, and it just keeps adding up, and then I'm oh wow, I really don't leave my house at all.
So let me ask you this. What do you find attractive?
Sexy to me is just when someone is, themselves. It doesn't really matter what qualities they have or don't have. It's more so that they're owning the ones that they are putting to the forefront. It doesn't matter even when, someone's kind of being you're bro, you're a little bit of an asshole, but as long as you're yourself, and bro, if you're no, I'm an asshole, and you're yeah, you are an asshole, and they're yep, you're okay, cool, as long as you own that shit, bro, it's chill with me, as long as you're aware, or you people just own your shit, that's hot for sure.
All right, so Bella, tell me, what are people gonna see if they sign up for your OnlyFans?
If you're gonna sign up to my OnlyFans, you're definitely gonna see different sides of me, for sure. Even just producing content specifically for my OnlyFans, you can literally, ask me to do a video, you can help me plan my video that I'm gonna shoot for you, and just this way of connecting with me that you just don't have on any other platform. I feel that genuinely is the reason that people should sign up, is because if they actually do want to have this super weird personal kind of connection to me, like that is the only app for it. I feel like I can just have a conversation on OnlyFans without the world watching me have a conversation. I've never been able to do that before. That's why I think it's so special, is that it's like, it really is this completely new way to actually get to know me, literally to talk to me and just be, you know, a part of whatever the fuck I'm posting, like, you know, on my wall. I love to like take polls and shit and do all this like fun stuff because I want to know like what people are wanting to see, what they're wanting to watch, like, you know, not just like what the top comment wants to see, you know, on Instagram. No, I'm actually getting to really see what everyone wants to see on the platform, which is cool. I think it's so fun when I'm like going through my feed on OnlyFans and I'm just seeing like, you know, all this like people just getting it, like, oh, bitch, yes. Like, I just love that. I love that stuff. It feels like a completely different, you know, community of people, really. Like, if you're like naughty in your group chats with your friends, then you should sign up to OnlyFans in general, because there's probably gonna be a lot of content or shit that people post that you think is funny, hot, or interesting to watch. So like in general, if you like that shit, like definitely get an OnlyFans, like, and sign up and look at people's, you know, subscribe to people's shit, because it's totally just a different, you know, you're not gonna see it on Instagram, that's for sure. You're not gonna even get this type of vibe on other social media platforms, I don't think.
We're living in interesting times right now, so I gotta ask your opinion. What do you think of 2020?
I think during this, we've all been like, wow, you know, every night with our friends, any night that people were even able to come over, that you were able to share a laugh, like, you know, any time that you were able to spend with your family, and all these things that, you know, are smaller when you're living them day to day, but they add up in such, you know, big, monumental ways. The positive effect that it's left, to talk about the positive one, would be everybody being, I think, much more appreciative to just, you know, have a conversation.